Hey, folks, sometimes the wheels of justice roll so slowly that you'd be better off getting out and walking. We're 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, and while the sickness itself may be petering out, the long-term ramifications of all the bad decisions made during that time most certainly have not. A comptroller's audit in New York City stated the other day that the state health department intentionally lied to the public about the number of nursing home deaths from COVID-19, undercounting by at least 4,100 residents, and at times by more than 50%. Now, I know what you're doing right now. Right now, you're looking at me on the screen and saying, is this an old video? Did Chad finally run out of material to talk about, so he's just starting over with old stories? Sadly, the answer to that is a resounding no. Governor Andrew Cuomo, the artist formerly known as the Love Gov, is back in the news yet again because internal auditors of his tenure as governor of the great state of New York are just now getting around to confirming what we've all known for 2 damn years. We all remember how, at the beginning of the pandemic, the news media trotted out Cuomo as a hero. We all remember the daily press releases, and yes, how could we possibly forget the visible nipple piercings through the T-shirt? So small that he must have borrowed them from his female staffers after giving them the business. Now, back in the day, Cuomo was seen as the man of the hour, the guy in control, the bulwark of sanity, standing against the puerile madness of King Trump. His state was, according to the media, the role model for the rest of the country. This is how you do it, folks. This is what happens when a professional is in charge. Meanwhile, of course, Cuomo, he was as busy shitting the bed on COVID as he was filling up the gubernatorial casting couch with special lady friends, whether they wanted it or not. And now where are we? Cuomo has resigned his office, a little bit shy of the disgrace he deserves and a lot shy of the jail time he deserves. And that begs an interesting question. Why is it that it takes so dadgum long for something like this to come out in an official capacity? Are you trying to tell me that the paper trails these folks had to follow were so well disguised that you just couldn't do it in any less time? Maybe. Or maybe it's the time that was, the time was right at last. I don't know. We got to spin the narrative, right? Look, when it comes to conspiracy theories, I'm not a Glenn Beck, but even I can look at the timing of events and put 2 and 2 together to make 22, dadgummit. At the time of his resignation, it was still a pretty hot-button issue for the left that one of their own had done something so ignominious as to get caught up in the hashtag #MeToo type of moment, let alone that in thousands and thousands of cases, he literally killed grandma. But now that the heat has died down considerably, now that COVID is already beginning to slowly fade out of the news cycle and be replaced with new and fresh horrors, now is the time for things like this to come forward. Why? Because nobody will care. Or not enough people will care for it to become a huge problem the way it would have a year ago if someone had officially confirmed what we already knew. God, I hate being right. It's not the way things should work, folks, but it's the way they do work, unfortunately. So what's the takeaway? Why am I bothering to come on and talk to you about an out-of-date storyline like this? Because I want you to not forget. Please, don't forget what these people have done. Don't forget what they're capable of. And whatever you do, don't forget about those nipple piercings. Oh, I love y'all. God bless.